We're with Boise State defensive back George Iloka at the Senior Bowl here in Mobile, Alabama. George, you're 6'3", and you started 2 games at cornerback this season for one of the best teams in the country. I know injuries were a part of that, but tell us about your experience at corner before we get into your safety play.
It was different. I mean, at Boise State, I play free safety, and in our scheme, I'm kind of in the slot. It's a lot harder to cover in the slot, so moving to corner, although the technique was a little different, it was actually easier because I was just trying to force him to throw the fade ball, which being 6'3", is probably one of the hardest routes to catch on me. So not that people couldn't catch it, it was just the hardest one. So, I mean, the transition was pretty smooth. It was a little easier, and it was pretty fun.
And of course, free safety is likely your landing spot at the NFL level, but you're like the guy, a new hybrid of player, because you think of NFL teams that are most successful across the league, pass-catching tight ends, guys running out of the slots, and the NFL teams are searching for these big safeties that can cover like corners, that can cover a guy like Aaron Hernandez running down the seam. Right. Do you think at the end playing cornerback could only boost your draft stock?
Yeah, I think it should help and boost my draft stock. It helps me out for the fact that, I mean, just with the personnel changes in the NFL now, you have those big tight ends like Jimmy Graham, Vernon Davis, and you know, sometimes you might want to put a corner on him, but then you say, well, he might be way stronger than the corner, might block the corner. Well, if you have a safety that could cover and supporting the run game, well, it kind of helps out in terms of that aspect.
George, you said you did a lot of covering guys in the slot. Tell us about what you were asked to do from free safety and pass coverage when maybe there was a solid pass catching tight end lined up across from you.
Well, the best tight end I faced this whole year was Olsen Charles from Georgia. He's the top. He's going to be a first-round draft pick. He was real good, and they matched me up on him the whole game. Well, at least they tried to, depending on the coverage, and I did a pretty good job of covering. I think he had 1 catch when he was going up against me. So just my coaches at Boise State knew that I was good at that, and they tried to match me up against some of the opposing team's best players.
Did they ask you to play a lot of man coverage while you were with Boise?
It's like a cover 4 concept, but to be honest with you have no help from the outside backer in our scheme, and it's cover 4, but I play to the field, and if the splits by 1 and 2 are wide, you just have to lock it up. The only help you have is underneath slant, but anything else, now a vert, a post, a corner, a hitch, whatever he wants to run the slide, you're to his will, and you just have to try to mirror him or get hands on him and just cover him.
You come off to me at first impression like you've got a great football mind, so when teams at the combine or here ask you to draw up defenses on that whiteboard, I don't think you're going to be very bashful, are you?
Oh, no. Our coaches have done a tremendous job in getting us prepared for the next level. They even taught me some of the D-line fronts, and I mean, as a safety, you think you just need to know the back end, and maybe what the backers have, they try to teach us the whole thing there, so you can kind of, knowing where everyone goes, it helps you get a better concept of the defense. So I think that gives me an advantage over most safeties.
Now, when I first met you, the first thing you asked me was, how's Eric Berry doing? Why do you like Eric Berry so much watching him play?
I mean, his style of play, we have different body builds, but he's athletic. He played corner a little bit in college, kind of like I did the last 3 games or so. When I was a sophomore, when he was a junior or whatever, and I just kind of looked up to him, how he played, is trying to emulate his game a little bit.